Welcome to the opening session of the Digital Learning Institute. This is our first year holding this event, and we are really excited to see such great turnout. And we've got some fantastic sessions prepared for you today. So let's get started. I'm going to go to the next slide. I would first like to introduce the team that put this conference together. My name is Susan Wettenkamp Brandt, and I'm the team leader of the support network for digital learning in Minnesota. And huge thanks to my right-hand woman, Elizabeth Bennett, without whom this conference would not have happened. And she put in an incredible amount of work. Elizabeth, please turn on your camera and wave and say hello.
Hey everyone, I'm so happy that you're here today and just really excited for this event. Thanks for coming.
And then we have Nick Holson. Turn on your camera and say hello. We'll be presenting and tech hosting throughout the day.
Hello, everybody. Good to meet you. Please join my session.
And Katie Miller. Katie will also be here throughout the day.
Good morning.
Is she in the house? Maybe she hasn't joined us yet.
I'm
Adam
here.
Kiefer? Oh, wait, there she is.
Good morning. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Adam Kiefer, who will also be presenting today and is a long-standing member of this team.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you.
And Kathy Grady, also a very long-term member, actually predates me on this team, which is saying something.
You'd think I'd know more what I was doing, but hi, everybody.
And Jason Brazier. Is Jason here today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for coming. Jason also predates me on this team, and I've been on the team for 18 years. And then we have Rob Podlasek, who is hosting this session, and you already met him.
Hello. Last and least.
Last and least, but not really. We love you, Rob. All right. Can we go to the next slide? And then, in addition to our staff and consultants on the team, we also have a statewide advisory team that changes every 2 years, and practitioners around Minnesota can apply to be members of the advisory team. And we just started with a new group in July this year, and our advisory team members are Laura Twarowski, please pardon me if I said your name wrong, from Metro North Adult Basic Education, Melody Stapleton from Learning and Style, Carly Voschel from Atlas, Polly Olthoff from Mankato ABE, Rebecca Jarvis from Metro South ABE, and Ralu Rice from Metro North ABE. Some great team members helping us put together this conference and advise us on what topics are of interest to the field. And with that, I am going to turn it over to Astrid Leiden from the Minnesota Department of Education Adult Basic Education Office.
Thank you, Susan, and a huge thank you to Elizabeth, the entire DL team, and all of the advisors. This has been a huge undertaking, and we are very grateful for all of your work. I am Astrid Leiden, and I am from the Minnesota Department of Education, where I serve on our state adult education team. And my role there is the professional development specialist. So I have the privilege of working with our amazing professional development providers here in Minnesota, including Literacy Minnesota. So we wanted to start today by just grounding ourselves in why we're here. Why is digital learning so important? Let's go to the next slide. We all know, I think, that digital skills are essential in almost every aspect of our lives these days. Employment, parenting, housing, transportation. If you think about any of the adulting you've had to do in the past week, you've likely needed to use digital skills to accomplish your goals. Let's go to the next slide. So that is one of the main reasons that we believe that digital learning is so important in Minnesota adult education is to support our learners in building those essential digital skills and digital resilience. We also know that digital learning expands access to our services. When students can join online, it reduces barriers like transportation and childcare and work schedules. More people can participate in a way that works for them. It also increases the intensity of instruction, allows students to earn more hours of instruction and make quicker progress and achieve their goals more quickly. Another reason that we feel digital learning is so important is it provides some choice and flexibility to the way that people participate in our programming, and in the classroom allows for more differentiation and allows students to focus on their individual goals. And when done well, we know it can also really enhance engagement in instruction. Technology tools and digital learning really can boost engagement and participation in our programming. So what else? Let's chime in the chat. What are some of the other reasons that you feel digital learning is important? Why are you here? What's your why? Why do you teach digital skills in your program? Why do you use digital learning or distance learning? Give folks a chance to chime in. What's your why? Yeah, I'm seeing folks chiming in about the importance of digital skills for employment and finding jobs, communicating with others, building the skills they need for GED testing, enhancing literacy instruction. So lots of reasons why digital learning is so important and why we're excited to bring this institute to you today. So let's go to the next slide. We also wanted to kick off the day just with a quick snapshot of the state of distance learning, digital learning here in Minnesota. So I'm going to share some data with you. And before we do that, though, I want to give a couple of quick reminders about definitions and how we define distance learning here in Minnesota. So just a reminder that distance learning has a very specific meaning in Minnesota adult education. Distance learning proxy hours that we enter into SID, our student database, are always asynchronous hours. When we think about remote synchronous learning, so the online classes that you may deliver via Zoom or Google Meet, is not defined as not part of the definition of distance learning. If you're a little confused, that's okay. We're going to go over all of this basic information in DL Basics 1. So join us for that first session. Also want to remind folks that there are 3 different ways to earn distance learning proxy hours here in Minnesota. One is by using a distance learning platform. So that might be Ellie, our newest statewide platform, or Burlington English or Edmentum. These can be online or paper-based. And students can earn proxy hours either through time on task. So if the platform is timing how much time they're spending in that platform, or through unit completion by satisfactorily mastering skills in a unit. Another option is through teacher-created courses. So you can create your own course online in an LMS and count student hours for an approved course by time on task or unit completion. And then finally, our newest option is teacher verification model lessons. So these are lessons that are assigned by TVM certified teacher. They can be online or paper-based, and students can earn a set number of hours for completion of those lessons. So again, come to DL Basics if you'd like to learn more about those different options and pathways here in Minnesota. So let's look at some of the numbers. Let's go to the next slide. In our past program year, 2024-2025, we can see that about 9% of the total hours earned by students in Minnesota were DL proxy hours. 10% were earned through online synchronous classes, and 9% through HighFlex classes. So a reminder that HighFlex is a model where students have the option to either join in person or online. The DL proxy hour percentage stayed about the same from the previous years, and those online and HighFlex percentages are down just a bit from the previous year. Let's go to the next slide. 29 of our 39 consortia are offering the online synchronous classes. 19 are offering HighFlex, and about 23% of our students are enrolled in either an online or HighFlex class, and that's down just a bit from last year. Let's go to the next slide. When we look at student numbers, how many of our students are engaging in asynchronous distance learning? So participating in a distance learning platform or a teacher-created course or teacher verification model lessons. 29% of our participants, so those are students with 12 or more hours or a pretest, are participating in asynchronous distance learning, and 19% of our enrollees are involved in asynchronous DL. And again, that's down just a little bit from last year. When we look at the platforms that are being used in Minnesota, you can see that Burlington English is the #1 most commonly used platform with the most hours in the past year. And Burlington English has overtaken MobyMax, which was in the previous year the most commonly used platform. And as Elizabeth says, lots of room for growth in distance learning and digital learning here in Minnesota. So what are you using? Let's chime in the chat. What platforms do you use with your students? If you are a manager, what are the different platforms that you offer in your program? What are your favorites? Seeing a wide range of different platforms coming in the chat. We're unique here in Minnesota in that we have many different platforms that are approved for use. So you have lots of choices. In just a minute, Elizabeth's going to tell you about how to find all the platforms that are approved for use in Minnesota. So let's go to the next slide. In addition to the platforms, we also have those teacher-created courses that have been approved for use in proxy hours. And the use is lower than many of the publisher-based platforms, but we still have over 25,000 hours that are being generated through those teacher-created courses. Many of those courses are focused on career content. So preparation for paraeducator or Microsoft Office specialist, for example, that has been a great way to tailor that content for career-focused classes. And then we have over 9,000 hours last year that were generated through teacher-verified distance learning lessons. And then in terms of the trends in platform use and total proxy hours, you can see over the past few years, our total number of proxy hours is continuing to grow, as well as the number of learners engaged in distance learning platform use. But as both Elizabeth and Susan said in the chat, there's lots of room for growth. And we hope that some of what you'll be learning here today will provide some ideas and guidance for how you might continue to grow the use of distance and digital learning in your programs. And at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Elizabeth to tell you a little bit about some of the resources that are available to help you do that.
Thank you. And Katie and Nick and other team members, please feel free to chime in as well. I'm trying not to overwhelm you with links, but I'll just put this one link to the kind of the master resource list in the chat. So you can find more information there and obviously find our website. So we do on our website have a full listing of all of the approved distance learning platforms. When you go to Literacy Minnesota, our main page, if you go up to that resources tab at the top, and under For Educators, there's distance learning platforms A to Z. So if you have questions about how to run proxy hour reports, or is a platform even allowed, or what types of learners or situations might it be good for, check the platform page first. There's a lot of information there. Something I like about it is that you can search by keyword. Normally they're listed alphabetically, but if you have something specific that you are looking for, just use that search function. You can also filter by topic, by literacy level. So that's corresponding to the CCRS levels or NRS educational functioning levels for both ESL and ABE. And you can search and see if something is free or state supported, or if your program would have to pay for it. We are really fortunate in Minnesota. All consortia chip in a little bit through your annual technology fee. And most of that money goes toward our SID, student information database, but some of it is used to purchase state-supported platforms. So all staff and learners in Minnesota adult education are able to access these platforms at no additional cost, which is really fantastic. You can also check out the support for distance learning page under that same resources tab. And this is where you'll find a lot of our policies and procedures. So maybe you're interested in developing your own teacher-created course for distance learning hours, or you want to know more about TVM or trainings. Check out this page. We have a resources section and then policies and procedures under that. We also have a help desk. So I apologize, it's an extremely long and kind of unwieldy email address. But I'll drop that in the chat for you. This really is the best way to get support or get your questions answered if you have anything specific to Minnesota adult education, distance learning, or technology integration, or just anything you want to get help from our team with. This goes to our whole team. So it's not just my email, it's shared amongst several team members. We also have several Canvas courses. This is the Minnesota Adult Education Canvas course catalog page. And these courses are free. And enrollment is open to anyone. However, only Minnesota staff or volunteers can receive instructor feedback in these courses and can receive CEUs. But again, anyone is welcome to enroll for free, just for your own professional learning. The digital learning team has two courses in particular. We have Distance and Blended Learning Basics for Minnesota Adult Education. This course is required for all staff who are involved in any aspect of distance learning. Or if you don't want to do it in Canvas, you can do it today by attending the 4 DL Basics sessions that are being offered today. We also have North Star Digital Literacy Foundations, so complementing our other CCRS foundations and ACES TIF foundations. We have a foundations course around using the North Star standards in your classroom. We are also going to be offering 2 cohort experiences this year. The cohorts, unfortunately, are only for Minnesota educators, but if you are working or volunteering in Minnesota, we highly encourage you to apply. I'm going to let Adam and Nick talk a bit more about the cohorts.
Hi, everyone. This is Adam again. Elizabeth and I are facilitating this cohort. This will be our 2nd year. Last year was kind of the pilot year. and in my opinion, it went great. It's kind of an amalgamation of distance learning 101 and then 102 if you've participated in those in the past. It's kind of its own new thing. It's open for anyone who touches distance learning, even administrators. It's open to individuals or teams participating as 2 or 3 people from a program would be awesome. Lots of readings on current best practices, current research, current stuff, and digital equity, digital resilience, digital navigation. Some of the stuff you'll be learning about today briefly will be covered more in depth. You'll get to spend time talking about these things in a discussion. We'll have a couple webinars together where we talk together and share together. There's a couple assignments that are really applicable. We make them as applicable as possible, not just theoretical. You get a $250 stipend and 20 CEUs if you fully complete. That's a nice motivation. And if you have any questions, you can email me there at the bottom, Hubs Adam, or and then the form to fill it out is on the opening session resources PDF that Elizabeth chatted out just 1 minute ago up in the chat. Love to see you apply and love to see you take the cohort. Nick?
I think actually I volunteered to take this one over for Nick. So
Oh, well, I'm handing it off to
unless you really
Susan.
want to.
No, feel free, Susan, but you can put me on the spot if there's a detail that you'd like me to highlight.
Sounds good. So this is yet another cohort that we'll be running for Minnesota adult educators. It's called Building an EdTech Strategy Toolkit. It's otherwise known as BEST. And we offer this course through our membership in the IDEAL Consortium. And so IDEAL is a group of states, leaders of adult education digital learning. And you can click that link when you get the slides later to find out if your state is a member. And if you are a member, you can ask your state leaders to offer BEST in your state. We typically offer this in winter and spring, and we'll be offering it again starting probably in January or February, running through May. And it's a study work group looking at best practices and building routines for integrating digital and other technologies into your instruction. So it's not focused as much on distance learning as the one that Adam just talked about. This is about instructional technology for your classroom. And you can meet and learn from other teachers all across Minnesota. Nick and I and Kathy led it last year, and we'll probably be heading it up again this year. And it's a combination of a Canvas course that you do asynchronously with webinars where you come together and talk about what you learned and what you're building and learn from each other. And there is a stipend available for Minnesota educators who complete the whole cohort of $250. So it's a great time, and I always learn so much. It's one of those really effective peer learning experiences, and I hope we will see you there.
So we also offer webinars throughout the year. So hopefully you're going to have a great day today and you're going to want to get even more. This fall, we already have scheduled a couple webinars supporting MobyMax, which is one of our state-supported platforms, supporting Ellie, another state-supported platform, and we are doing a crash course, a series of 3 one-hour sessions in November around using generative AI for teachers and for other adult education staff members in various roles. So there's some more registration details in the chat, and it's also on that master resource list. I also want to make you aware that almost all of our online events are recorded, and we have a very robust professional development YouTube channel for Minnesota adult education. And these videos are always available to you. So if you miss the live event, check back a few days later on the YouTube channel, and the videos are generally posted right away. And you can watch them at whatever time works for you. Yes, it is quite robust. We have done some cleanup of old videos. The number of videos kind of exploded since 2020. We have tried to weed through and take out some of the older ones, but I do like to point out there is a search function. So when you go to our YouTube channel page, if you're looking for a specific topic, I highly recommend using that search. I also like to view just the videos tab rather than the home tab, because then you can search, you can see what is most recent. So if you go to the videos tab and then click latest, you'll see everything, the most recent ones listed right at the top. I also want you to know that if you are a Minnesota practitioner, you can request CEUs for any of these YouTube videos. It's a little bit confusing because it depends which organization has hosted the event as to which application you need to use. But for events hosted by Literacy Minnesota, which would be almost all of the digital learning and distance learning webinars, you can use this request form that I'll put in the chat right now. And that way, even if you miss the live event, you can still watch the recording and you can still get some CEU credit for doing that. Note that you do not need to submit this form to get your CEUs for today. There will be a specific evaluation form just for today's event for your CEUs. Also, our team, I'm sorry, it's 9:30. I'm just noticing I'll go through this really fast. We offer training by request. So we can come to you if you would like some custom training for your staff, either in person or online. Literacy Minnesota has a digital navigation core, and the deadline has been extended to October 17th. So if you are in Minnesota or a few other states, please check out this website or contact Jessie. And maybe we can hook you up with an AmeriCorps member who will serve as a digital navigator. This is a fantastic resource for any program serving adult learners. So just some logistical information to get to the rest of the sessions today. You're going to use your flyer. You should have received a big email yesterday that had a link to the flyer. Sometimes with Google Docs, if we get hundreds of people looking at the same doc all at once, things don't load properly. So there is also a backup copy of the flyer. And you can download a PDF copy and just save it on your own device from our website. So lots of ways to get the flyer. Just a note, if you are attending today because you want to do that distance and blended learning basics training, be sure that you're attending the correct session based on your role. So session 1 at 9:45 is for all staff. Even if you do not teach, if your only role in distance learning is entering hours in SID, we still want you in that session for the training requirement. Sessions 2, 3, and 4 are open to anyone, but they are only required for instructional staff and supervisors of instructional staff. You will get your CEUs when you complete the event evaluation, which is listed on the flyer. So at the end of your time with us today, please take a few moments to complete that evaluation and you'll be able to download a CEU certificate. If you're doing the DL basics, you'll need to also complete a little sign-in form at the end of each session, just so we can verify your attendance in those specific sessions. So thank you so much. Sorry we went a little over. I'll drop a few more links in the chat one more time. But we're just so glad that you're here today. Adult educators are really the best people. I'm so thrilled that I get to work with all of you every day. So thank you so much.